Welcome to our intermediate sequence. Please do this sequence if you're a great improver or an intermediate. This sequence will work the shoulders, the back, the abdominals, the glutes and the legs. We're going to begin with a stretch for the legs. So I'm going to ask Miriam to come into all fours. So with your shoulders over your hands, the hips over your knees, feet and knees at hip bone distance apart. Make sure the fingers are spread with the middle finger pointing forwards. Back of the neck nice and long, and of course the shoulders drawing down away from your ears. Then from here, tuck the toes under. Press down into the floor through the hands and press down through the toes. Engage the deep core muscles. Press the knees away from the floor and send the bottom up towards the sky. Let the head drop down and the heels back to or towards the floor. So this will give you an amazing stretch for the backs of the legs and for the back. So the head drops down almost as though you're trying to look for your belly button and keep the tail high. Take a long breath in and out here. And then on your next breath in, lift the heels high. Bring the shoulders forward over the hands, look towards the hands, engage the core, bring the knees down in parallel with the core engaged, and untuck your toes for a moment. From here, we're going to take the right leg back and tuck the toes under. So extend the right leg, keep the hips over the knees as you do this. Get a really good grip with the toes. Keep the shoulders over the hands. Take the left leg back too and tuck the toes under so that feet want to be at hip bone distance apart. Imagine that you're slightly arching your back, your lower back up towards the ceiling a little. That will help you to engage your core muscles. So you can hold this position, or we can take it a little bit further by raising one leg. So I'm going to ask Miriam to press really firmly into the ball of her foot on the left, keeping the right foot flexed. Raise the right leg off the floor just a little and then lower it down so the core muscles remain engaged. On your breath out, press down through the ball of the foot on the right. With the foot flexed on the left, raise the leg, slowly bring it down. Bend your knees and come back to the floor. From here, take the knees wide, sit the bottom back towards the heels. So with that movement, you could repeat that 3 or 4 times. But make sure you do a stretch for the back in between or certainly at the end. So this is our rest position, and then from here, maybe take 2 or 3 long breaths in and out, and then on your exhale, restack the spine by tucking the tail right under, keep the head down until the last moment. Okay, and then from here, bring the knees back into parallel. I'm going to ask you, Miriam, to sit on the floor, this time up here with the legs stretched out front. So this is working the same position but in the opposite direction if you like. So the hands come behind you on the floor, so behind the bottom, about hip distance apart or slightly wider. If this hand position doesn't work for you, then turn the hands in the opposite direction. But if it's okay, turn the fingers so they're facing back in towards the bottom. The chin's going to stay down towards the chest, and we want the legs to come together. So you're going to reach long through the toes. The further back you take the hands from the hips and the bottom, the higher the lift. So you can adjust that as you go along. So we're going to really squeeze the feet together. We're going to draw the knees towards each other, the inner thighs towards each other. We're going to squeeze the glutes, engage the core. Keeping the shoulders drawn down, take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift the bottom off the floor. Keep the chin down towards the chest, and that's as high as you want to go. Have a breath in here, and then as you breathe out, gently lower down. Keep the core engaged, keep it nice and controlled. So the elbows will bend a little probably depending on your arm length. So press down into the arms, take a breath in, As you breathe out, squeeze the glutes. Draw the inner thighs towards each other, reaching long through the toes. Straight arms when you've got your hips lifted, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, slowly lower down. I'm going to give you a progression if you want it. So on the next raise, we're going to raise one leg, bring it down, come down, and then go back up and do the same. So here we go. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage the core, squeeze the glutes, lengthen the feet. So from here, strong into your left leg to stabilize you. On your breath out, raise your right leg a little off the floor, keeping it straight, and bring it down. We're trying not to let the hips drop. Bring the bottom back down. So we'll do the left side next time. So press down into the hands. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the glutes, engage the core. So pressing down through the right heel, raise the left leg a little and bring it down. And then lower the bottom back down to the floor. Slowly take yourself back down onto the floor, all the way onto your back. So from that extension work, we just want to give the back a stretch. So draw the knees up and in towards the chest, hands onto the front of the shins, and you might just want to rock from left to right here across the lower back. So in terms of repetitions for those movements, you might want to do 5 or 6 depending on your strength in both directions, but finish with a stretch and then bring your knees back in. Thank you for watching our intermediate sequence.